Hello, lads and lasses. Hey, if you like today's lesson, then please convince all your friends to sign up for our classes, as this would really help spread the good word of my class. All right, that was a mouthful to say. All right. So, you might be wondering to yourself, what are we going to do this year? So, I'm putting this up here. I know it's wordy, but I'm not asking you to read it. I'm not going to read it to you, but I'm just showing this to you. This is the law in Texas that tells me what I have to teach you. So, I'm just presenting it to you just so you know that there are things that I'm supposed to be teaching in your class. You might be wondering to yourself, what does that all mean to you? And so, what that means to you is that I'll be teaching you guys art theory. Now, so it won't look like this. In fact, it's not going to look like that. You guys are in advanced art. You're in art three, you're in art four, you're in AP art, and you've had this instruction, like you've learned about the color wheel, and you've had these instructions during art one and art two, and maybe even before that. So you should have a good base of knowledge about art. So I don't have to go over all of this with you. However, I will be talking to you guys one on one, and I will be using the language of art. I will be talking about the principles and elements in your artworks. So that's how I'll be teaching it this year. I will be teaching you guys art history, especially the art threes and possibly the art fours this year. Um, and so I'll be teaching you guys about famous artworks. I think there's a lot of you that did not have my art one, so I will be showing you guys Greek art, Renaissance art, and Baroque art and pop art this year. All right. And the other thing that we're going to be doing in this class, in fact, for art threes, fours, and AP, about 95% of this is going to be you making art in this class. And if I ever give a demo, it'll be short demos, but you guys will be making your art. That's the main reason for art threes, fours, and APs. And let me tell you guys the supplies that you will need for this class. You will need a sketchbook, and this is all that I'm going to require of you guys to bring in. Um, well, that's something that everybody has to have. I do recommend that you go out and get your own sketchbook. That I will not be selling them to you, and the reason is that in Art 3 and 4 and AP Art, you guys should have your own preference of to what kind of sketchbook works best for you. A lot of good sketchbooks are hardback, and there's also spiral sketchbooks. And some people like the hardback, some people like the spiral. So you get what works for you. I think the advantage of what the spiral has over the hardback is that it can lay flat, so that the spiral allows the front cover to lay flat. However, my own personal preference, I like the hardback. And you can get any kind you want. You can get something that's personal made, or something you get at the arts and crafts show, or the Renaissance Festival. But this one right here that I'm showing you is my absolute favorite sketchbook. I think it has the best. It has not the best paper, but it has really good paper. But what I like most about this sketchbook is that it is a tough sketchbook. It survives. A lot of sketchbooks fall apart. And this is a very high quality sketchbook, and it doesn't cost that much. I've only been able to find this at Texas Art Supply here in Houston. There's one that's 19.3 miles away, and it takes 26 minutes to get there. There's another one that's 21 miles away. It takes 26 minutes to get there. Anyways, those are at Texas Art Supply. You can also get it on Amazon. But this is my own personal favorite. If you want to go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's and get your own, that's fine too. Okay, so there's no specific supply packet required for my upper level classes. I design my assignments so that they are open-ended and allow students to choose your own media. So when you are working on these assignments, you can use whatever medium you have around the house, or you can talk with me, and we can work something out where you can pick up a medium that you want to work with from the classroom. But that's kind of how we're going to work on these assignments this year. There's a material usage charge for this class. I'm not sure how much it'll be yet because of COVID-19. We are still working out the details of it. But basically, the materials usage charge covers the cost of paint and paper and glue and tape and all the art supplies that we use in class. It helps cover the cost of the supplies that we get used up. When we do have a finite number for you to pay for the materials usage charge, you will be using the school cash online to pay for it. And that is on the Cypress Falls High School webpage. And if you go there and on the front page, you'll find a link for school cash online, and that's where you will pay for it. We haven't set it up yet. It's coming. I'll give you the details for this later. All right, Art 3. I want you to write this down or take a picture of it or copy it down somehow. You can pause the video, but this is your remind. So please copy down this information. Send a text to 81010, and then I want you to type B2K8G8G as the code and send that off, and that will sign you up for my remind, and we'll be able to communicate that way as well. There'll be lots of ways that we're going to communicate. Remind is a good one, and so I want you guys to sign up for it. Art 4, same thing. I want you to go to 81010 and type in this code 627976 and get signed up for my remind. I want you to copy this down, take a picture of it, text, type it into your phone, or just go ahead and sign up right now. And then AP Art, I want you to go to 81010 and type in this code 7KF48D and sign up for my remind. All right, there's music in my classroom. I play music, and so I have a variety mix, and I play all kinds of music. You know, I play all kinds of rock, and there's pop in there, there's old music and new music, and there's world music. I have music from all kinds of countries. In fact, I had a girl in here a few years ago, and she was listening to the music, and she was kind of thinking about it, and then she like asked me, "Is that Arabic?" And I said, "Well, yes, it is." So, you know, there's music from all over the world mixed in with all the music that I have. I have independent rock. I do soul and R&B and funk and a little bit of rap, classical music, reggae, disco, punk, dance music, Tex-Mex, jazz, and many other genres of music. Is that right? Yeah, many other musical genres in my classroom. So if you don't have your own music to listen to, there's lots of stuff to listen to when I'm playing my music. All right, with cell phones, with Art 3s and 4s and APs, I generally allow my students to use cell phones for the most part. And so sometimes it's okay. Like, for example, when you're making art, you guys want to listen to your own music. Absolutely, that's fine. As long as you are busy making art, that's okay with me. And sometimes, and especially in Art 3s and 4s and APs, you're working from a reference, and that reference is on your phone. Absolutely, you can be looking at your phone for a reference for drawing or painting or whatever art is that you're working for. So when you are in my classroom and you are working, it is absolutely okay for you to be using your cell phone. Sometimes phones are not okay in my class. So during instruction, so look at this picture right here. Everybody's paying attention to the instructor except for the guy with the phone. He's being distracted. He's missing out on important information. And if that were happening in my class, I would get angry because he would be the one asking me what to do later on. Or his artwork wouldn't be as good because he's missing instruction. So during times of instruction, absolutely everybody 100% is putting away their phone. And sometimes students just can't handle a distraction in the class. So when students are on their phone when they should be working, I will mandate that they put away their phone. And if that's still a problem, then we'll take steps from there. But it is not okay to be distracted on your phone when you're supposed to be doing work in my class. And I do have a cell phone parking lot in my class. I mostly use that for the Art 1s, but if it becomes a problem in Art 3s and Art 4s and AP, it better not be a problem. But and I've rarely ever had a problem in those classes, and usually it's with an individual, and we work it out. I'll work it out with the individual instead of like punishing a class. But anyways, I do have a cell phone parking lot that where students have to park their phone behind my class and return to their seat without their phone so that they can focus on making art. All right, well, that's it for now. Check to see if there are any assignments associated with this video. And remember, be a little art factory.